Good morning, students. Hope you all fine. And let us move to the class. So we are discussing chapter 3, tissue level of organization, right? And let us continue the class. So far we have completed the classification of animal tissue, and animal tissue is classified as 4 types: epithelial tissue, connective tissue, muscular tissue, as well as neural tissue. Fine. In that, epithelial tissue is again classified as simple epithelial tissue as well as compound epithelial tissue. Fine. Then the simple epithelial tissue is further classified as squamous epithelial tissue, cuboidal epithelial tissue, columnar epithelial tissue, ciliated epithelial tissue, as well as pseudostratified epithelial tissue. Fine. So far we have completed this simple epithelial tissue. Fine. And today's class we are supposed to discuss regarding this compound epithelial tissue. Hope you can differentiate this difference between the simple epithelium as well as the compound epithelium, right? So simple epithelium in the sense this layer is made up of single layer of cells. But in case of this compound epithelial tissue, this tissue is made up of more than one layer of cells. Fine. Okay. So we can see this classification of again compound epithelial tissue. So this compound epithelial tissue also further classified as 2 types, that is stratified as well as transitional. Okay. Then this stratified is again classified as squamous, cuboidal, as well as columnar, right? Okay. Then this squamous epithelium is again classified as keratinized as well as non-keratinized type, right? So today's session we are going to elaborately see about these various types of this compound epithelial tissue. Fine. So what do you mean compound epithelial tissue? Compound epithelium is made of more than one layer of cells, right? So the figure I displayed there, can you watch the bottom blue color is basement membrane, and above that this layer of cells are there. Here more than one layer will be there, right? Hence it is known as compound epithelial tissue. Okay. And its major role is, since it is many layer is there, mostly it is doing the protection function. Okay. So since it is a thick cell, thick membrane, it is doing this secretion function. I'm sorry, protection function, but it is doing this limited function for secretion. Okay. So that's what the second point is mentioned there as it is providing protection against chemical as well as mechanical stress. Okay. Let us go on these types of this compound epithelial tissue. Okay. So before that, wherever this compound epithelial tissue is located. Okay. So let us see the few areas there. The first one, it is present in the dry surface of the skin. Dry surface means, so in the skin basically 3 layers will be there: epidermis, dermis, as well as endodermis. Okay. Then the epidermis layer, outermost layer only known as a dry skin. It is too dry skin. So in the dry skin this layer will be there, right? Okay. And the second place is moist surface of the buccal cavity. So this digestive tract figure is displayed there. So buccal cavity in the sense inside the mouth where the teeth and tongue is located and the salivary glands is located, those regions we can say as a buccal cavity. So the buccal cavity surface is moist in nature. In this moist surface also this tissue is present. Understand? Okay. Then next region is pharynx. Where is the pharynx? Pharynx is the region where this digestive system as well as the respiratory system opens. Okay. So here also we can see after the mouth and between the mouth and the esophagus region there is a pharynx region. Okay. So in this pharynx region also this tissue is present. Understand? Okay. Then the next one is inner lining of salivary glands. So can you notice this salivary glands there? It is located in the buccal cavity, and the inner lining of this salivary gland also consists of this tissue, right? And one more is this pancreatic ducts. Pancreas means, can you see the pancreas which is present in the digestive tract? After this liver, after the stomach we can say is the pancreas. Pancreas is secreting the pancreatic juice actually. It is helping for the digestion, and this juice will be collected by one of the duct. That duct is known as pancreatic duct. So in these areas, this compound epithelial tissue is present. Fine. Okay. Okay. So as we said already, this compound epithelial tissue also further classified as two types. The one is stratified compound epithelium. The second one is transitional compound epithelium. Okay. So the first one is stratified compound epithelium, means nothing else. Stratified in the sense many layer. As we said compound, there is a many layer, that only here it is mentioned as a stratified compound epithelium. Okay. So based on the shape, again this stratified compound epithelium also classified as three types. That is squamous epithelium, cuboidal epithelium as well as columnar epithelium. Can you differentiate? Already for simple epithelial tissue also we said squamous, cuboidal, columnar as well as pseudostratified. Okay. But here also the same type is given based on the shape. Okay. There only single layer will be there, but here the same shape only, but many layer will be there. That is the difference. Okay. Okay. And the second one is transitional compound epithelium. Here the word denotes transitional means it can transform its nature. Transform. That is known as transitional compound epithelium. So that we can see in detail in further. Fine. So the next one is stratified squamous epithelium. Right. So stratified squamous epithelium in the sense, as we said already, here many layers of cells will be there, and the shape of the cell already we said squamous in the sense flat shape. So the flat shaped cells are arranged as many layers. So the figure is displayed there, stratified squamous epithelium. Have we got? And this squamous epithelium is again classified as two types. That is keratinized as well as non-keratinized. Fine. Let us see one by one. So this squamous epithelium is classified as keratinized as well as non-keratinized type. Okay. So this keratinized type is present in this dry epidermis of the skin. So already we said where is this epidermis layer will be there. So as we said, and there is three layers will be there in the skin even, and the outermost region is epidermis, then dermis, then this basement membrane. Okay. Then this epidermis consists of this keratinized cells because it is filled with the substance known as keratin. It's a protein. That's why these cells are known as a keratinized cells, right? So especially it is a squamous epithelium. Understand? Okay. Then The next one is non-keratinized cells. Means these cells are not filled with the substance known as keratin. Okay, so keratin is actually it is giving the texture to the skin. So especially non-keratinized type, this keratin is absent. Okay, so these cells are present in esophagus. Hope you know about the esophagus. After the mouth, it is leading to the tube known as esophagus in the digestive tract. Okay, so this non-keratinized type is present in esophagus and mouth. Then conjunctiva of the eye. So in the eye, outermost layer, outer covering of this eyelids is known as conjunctiva. So that eye conjunctiva layer also consists of non-keratinized squamous epithelial tissue. Okay, then vagina. Vagina is the end region of this female reproductive tract. Okay, so all these regions consist of non-keratinized type of this squamous epithelium, right? Okay, then so first we said stratified squamous epithelium, and the second one is stratified cuboidal epithelium. So here also the same, stratified in the sense many layer will be there, but cuboidal in the sense the shape of the cell is cuboid shape, right? Okay, and as we displayed in the figure, two layers is there and the shape of the cell is cuboid shape. Okay, and wherever it is located. So first of all they said it is present in the ducts of sweat glands. So sweat glands that also present in the skin only. It is secreting the sweat. Okay, so the sweat will be left out through the duct. So sweat will be left out of the skin through the duct. In that duct consists of this epithelium, right? Okay, then ducts of mammary gland. So mammary gland is present in mammals. Its major role is secreting the milk, okay, for lactating females. So when this milk is secreted from this mammary glands, the milk will be ejaculated out through this duct, mammary gland duct. So in that duct also this stratified cuboidal epithelium is present. Fine. So the third one is stratified columnar epithelium. So have you got the point here? So here also the same, more than two layers will be there, and the shape of the cell is columnar shape, means it's pillar shape. Okay, and so let us see its location. So first one, it is present in this lumen of the pharynx. Hope you know about the pharynx region where this digestive system and the respiratory system opens. That is pharynx region. Then it is present in the male urethra. So have you got where is this urethra? Urinary bladder will open as a urethra. Through the urethra, the urine will be eliminated out. Okay. So in the male urethra, this stratified columnar epithelium is present. Okay. Then the third area, lining up to some glandular ducts. Glandular duct means glandular region means it is secreting some substances, right? So when it is secreting the substance, of course the substances should be taken away through the duct. So in that duct, this stratified columnar epithelium is present. Fine. Then this is the second type of this compound epithelium. First type is said stratified compound epithelium, and the second type is transitional compound epithelium, right? Okay, and what do you mean transitional epithelium? So this epithelium allows stretching and is protective in function. It is stretchable in nature, elastic in nature. Okay, so that's why they said it is transitional. So which means it is compound only, means many layer will be there, understand, but it can change its shape I mean, it is elastic in nature. That's why it can, when it is elastic in nature, when it elast or stretch, it may look like a simple layer sometimes. Understand? When we are stretching, the width will reduce. Am I right? So when the width is reducing, it may look like a simple epitheliums, right? So that is known as a transitional, means it may transform from compound to simple form. Understand? But it is not actually transform. It's looking like a simple layer of cells when it is stretching. That's why this name is mentioned as transitional, transform. Okay. Okay, this is a figure of this transitional compound epithelium. It is stretchable. Okay. Where is it located? Especially wherever we need the elasticity, wherever the body has to stretch, in that areas mostly this kind of this transitional epithelial tissue is present. So especially few areas mentioned here. The first one is uterus. Of course, when this female is as a carrier, when they are carrying the child, the uterus has to expand, right? So in the uterus, this transitional compound epithelium is present. So when she is carrying the child, this uterus will expand. Understand? It will stretch. Second one, urinary bladder. So as I mentioned there, urinary bladder, when this urine is stored in the urinary bladder, the urinary bladder has to stretch. It has to elast. Then only it can able to hold this large amount of this urine inside this urinary bladder. So it is stretchable or elastic in nature. That's why there is this transitional compound epithelial tissue is present. Okay. Then urethra. Urethra, can you notice the urethra there? So when it is eliminating the urine, it has to stretch. Okay. So especially these areas, this transitional compound epithelium is present. Right? Okay. So far we have completed regarding this classification of epithelial tissue. So simple epithelial tissue as well as compound epithelial tissue. Okay. So here one of this point again it is noticed as a junction. So which region we used to mention as junction? Where the two places meet or the two regions meet, we can say as a junction. So here also the same. Here this junction is a cellular junction where the two cell is meeting. So that junction we can say as a cellular junction or tissue junction, right? Okay. So let us see what is junction. In most of this animal tissue, specialized junctions provide both structural and functional links between its individual cells. Okay, so in most of this animal tissue, they say there will be the junction between the two cells. What is the use of this one? It is giving one structural support as well as a functional link also. It is connecting or it is making one link between two cells. Okay, so let us see the types of this junction and what are the junctions are present. So types of junction. So there are three types of junction is there. The first one is tight junction. The second one is adhering junction. And the third one is gap junction. Okay. And let us see one by one. The first one is tight junction. Of course, with the word we can understand what is tight junction. Okay. So tight junction means here the gap between these two cells are so tight. Can you watch in the figure? It is so tight. So because of this, what will happen here? Tight junction help to stop substances from leaking across the tissue. Okay. So the tissue is made up of the cells now. Okay. So the cells consist of the substances. So because of this junction, tight junction, adjacent cells are very close each other. That's why it is preventing the leakage of the substances. It is stopping the leakage of the substances from this tissues. Understand? So that is the function of this tight junction. The second one is adhering junction. Adhering junction in this means, adhere means, you know, attach each other. That is known as adhering. So here especially adhering junctions perform cementing to keep neighboring cells together. So this is performing like a cementing. It is, what do you mean cementing? When we build the building, we apply the cement to attach to bricks. So that is cementing, we can say. The same here also, to attach to two cells, this adhering junction will perform like a cementing substance. It is making some cementing substances to attach two cells. Okay, so that is this and adhering junction. Okay, and here the second figure actually it is denoted as this adhering junction. The first one is tight junction, and both the cells are very tight each other. Here the second figure is adhering junction with the cementing substance. It is attached close to each other. Okay, then let us go on the third cell. So the third junction is gap junction. There is a gap. So what is its function? So gap junction facilitate the cells to communicate with each other by connecting the cytoplasm of adjoining cells for rapid transfer of ion, small molecules and big molecules. Okay, here what happened here? There is a gap between the two cells. So the figure I displayed there is two cells plasma membrane. Can you watch the plasma membrane? And between the plasma membrane, there is this gap. Okay, there is a gap. So the junction only, but there is a gap. So because of that gap, it is facilitating, it is helping to communicate the cells each other. Not only that, it is useful to transport the substances to the neighboring cells through this gap, right? For example, transferring the ion, transferring the small molecules, and even it is transferring the big molecules, some of the big molecules. Understand? So it is helping to communicate with this another one cell because there is a gap. If it is attached tightly, it cannot transfer it. But if it is loosely arranged, it could transfer or it can communicate with this neighboring cells, right? So this is a three type of junctions which is present in this most of these animal tissues. Okay, so hope we can quit this class here, and let us go on these few assignments regarding today's session. Fine. Assignments are, the first question, what is compound epithelium? Right. So what is compound epithelium? If this epithelial tissue is made up of more than one layer of cells or multi-layer of cells, is known as compound epithelium, right? Okay, then list out the types of compound epithelium. What are the types of compound epithelium? Compound epithelium is again classified as stratified as well as transitional. Okay, then give the classification of stratified squamous epithelium. So stratified squamous epithelium is further classified as keratinized as well as non-keratinized type. Is it clear? Stratified epithelium is classified as squamous, cuboidal as well as columnar. But here the question is, give the classification of stratified squamous epithelium. So notice this question and answer. Okay. So squamous epithelium, how it is classified? Keratinized as well as non-keratinized type. Okay. Then what is transitional epithelium? So this transitional epithelium can be elastic in nature. That's why it is stretching and it is giving protection function. Okay. Then list out the types of junction and its function. So what are the types of junction? Tight junction, adhering junction as well as gap junction. What about its functions? tight junction helps to stop the substances from this leakage. Adhering junction is cementing this to adjacent cells, and gap junction is facilitating the transport or communication of the substances to the neighboring cells. Understand? Okay. Hope you will go for these questions and cover it up, and please keep in touch with us and watch all these videos completely, and try to learn everything periodically. Fine. So please be safe at home and pray very well. Until then, we can meet in the next class with this. The next tissue is a connective tissue. Fine. Thank you.